Hi guys, today I'm going to be demonstrating for you how to restring an electric guitar. Now, for anybody here who's played guitar before, you know that after a month of playing, your strings are probably not sounding as good anymore. And this is because you're actually wearing out the strings. In fact, you're running a risk of breaking the string if you continue to play it. And you definitely do not want a broken string, because broken strings can go anywhere and they will be flying and it will hurt. So, with that said, to replace the strings of your guitar, it's only going to take two simple steps: taking the string off and restringing it. Now, the way the guitar is actually being held on here, you can see that on this headstock, all the strings are coming in through here, through the center, and they're winding through the center of the headstock, and they're winding this way. Each one of these strings, if you follow it, is doing this. Even these bottom ones, they're going through this metal ridge here first, and then they're wrapping around. So each one of these strings can be replaced in exactly the same way. For that reason, I'm going to replace this second to highest string here. And what I'm going to do is fully loosen it first. If I can fully loosen it, then I can take the string out. So now, I'm going to use this tool here. This tool is actually what's known as a string cutter. You can buy them at any guitar shop. You can cut the string with this. And then this bottom piece here is made to fit on these top knobs over here. And they allow you to much easier turn this, basically. You can much more easily turn this. And the reason that's good is because this is a very tedious part of the job, is constantly turning this. The one thing that you may want to know, if you don't already, is that to loosen the guitar, you turn it towards your body, and to tighten it, you turn it away from your body. That applies to any one of these strings. So, I'm going to keep on turning it. And now I pulled it through. What you want to notice is that this piece right here is very big and very long, and it's been bent. So I'm going to take my wire cutter what I did is I cut off that bent piece. Now what I can do is I can push this string through the back of the guitar here. It's only being held in through the back of the guitar. Now that the string is off, you're ready to replace it. So, you need to have some strings ready. I like to use nickel wound strings. Nickel wound strings are always good, and these are regular size strings. If you walk into any guitar shop and you ask for regular size nickel wound strings, you'll be using the same strings I'm using. I like them because they sound good and they always feel nice when you play them. So now I stick it in through the back of the guitar and I pull it in. Lastly, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to bring this up here, and then I'm going to have to wind it around this and stick it in through one of these little holes here. It's not easy to do, but if you are persistent, it's not that bad either. You really are just winding it around physically and then bringing it in through the hole. This is one of the jobs that people really hate doing because it's very easy to mess this up and you'll have to keep on going at it until you get it. But once you get it through the little hole, you have to tighten it. And then finally, once it's in there on the hole, you start turning the top piece away from your body. Start tightening it. And you just have to keep on turning. You know, I'm sorry that there's not really much more to it. But once it's on there fully, it's okay to take the excess string and then cut it. Now, I know it was hard to see, so to reiterate what I did is I took this second string here, I unwound this all the way by turning this towards my body a lot. Then I pulled it through this little hole that it stuck through, all the way through the back of the guitar, pulled it out. Then I took my new string, put it in through the back, pulled it up, brought it all the way around, physically wrapped it around one time, stuck it through the hole here, and then I took the knob and started turning it away from my body until it could hold on its own. Now the guitar is in there, the guitar string is in there, so what you want to do after you replace all your strings using the same method I just showed you is take a tuner and go through each string and tune them. It might take a couple times because after you put on new strings, they're bound to keep on stretching and slipping. And what that means is it's going to take 2 or 3 times of tuning before you know that your strings are all actually at the right note. Otherwise, they're going to constantly be changing. This top string is E, and then A, and then D, and then G, then B, and finally E. If you tune each string to that note in that order, you will get the right stuff. So you tune this string to E, then A, then D, then G, then B, and finally E. Once you have all strings tuned, you'll be working with new strings and it'll sound great. And the best part is you won't run any risk of having any of these strings come flying out and really hurting you or anybody who's around you. And that's it for replacing your guitar strings.